In case you missed my last video, we shared the sad news about how Nintendo has just closed down 2 of its major eShops, meaning that a lot of Animal Crossing games and content can no longer be purchased digitally. So overall, it wasn't exactly the most positive video, but thankfully there is some good news after the eShop has closed that we can now confirm. So in this video, we're going to be taking a look at exactly what this good news is for Animal Crossing and how you can make the most of it. Now, if you happen to log on to your Wii U or 3DS, you're going to notice that the eShop can still actually be loaded up, but most of the games are now unavailable for purchase. You cannot really download anything at all. I was actually kind of expecting the eShop to be completely inaccessible, just getting a message where it says this is closed down, you can't access it, but no, you can see it like you usually would be able to, you just can't purchase anything there at all. But thankfully there is some really important functionality here that you'll definitely want to know about if you plan on going back to old Animal Crossing games, specifically Animal Crossing New Leaf, which I know so many of you have been replaying. In case you didn't know, Animal Crossing New Leaf had a massive and honestly essential update called Welcome Amiibo, which added a ton of amiibo functionality, new features, content, characters, items, and so much more. It was absolutely massive, and it's definitely a must play if you're going back to Animal Crossing New Leaf. Now, while some versions of the game come bundled with this update, others do not. For example, the original version which launched back in 2012 in Japan, or 2013 pretty much everywhere else. On the 3DS, you actually have to update your games via the eShop, and thankfully Nintendo has made it so you can still download updates for your games via this system. So despite the fact that the eShop is now closed down, you can still download the Welcome Amiibo update and another update for Animal Crossing New Leaf via the eShop, which is really good news. I was honestly really worried that a lot of players would be denied trying this update out, which would have been such a shame. So although you can't buy New Leaf digitally anymore, you'll still be able to update it if you do have the physical copy. And if you haven't already, I definitely do recommend going back to Animal Crossing New Leaf, as it is such an incredible game and is probably the most beloved in the whole franchise, honestly. But the good news doesn't stop there. Although this is only for a limited amount of time, if you happen to have any download codes for the 3DS, whatever the download code may contain, Nintendo has actually extended the amount of time you can redeem these, because apparently they closed it off too early. In a tweet from Oatmeal Dome, a prominent Nintendo data miner, they shared Nintendo has re-enabled the ability to redeem download codes on the Wii U and 3DS eShops. You now have until April the 4th at 4:30 AM UTC to redeem leftover codes. It appears the download codes being disabled early was a mistake, so they are extending the deadline. Now, I'm gonna go out on a limb and assume most of you do not have download codes that you can redeem, because this was such a long time ago these were really being handed out for the 3DS. Although I do believe you can actually get some exclusive themes and such from the My Nintendo store. There are other downloads and such like that, so you may want to check in case there's any content for this system that you want to get before it's too late. For example, the wonderful Memory shared a download code with me for Photos of Animal Crossing, a fairly rare application which was only available in Europe and Japan, I believe, where you can use AR codes to take photos with certain Animal Crossing characters. In case you are in Europe, Nintendo did actually send out codes for these with their Nintendo newsletter back in 2015, so it may be worth looking through your old emails just in case Nintendo did send you a code. But in fairness, this application was basically ported to Animal Crossing New Leaf just with amiibo cards, so it's not really needed anymore. It's just a rare piece of Animal Crossing media that I'm quite happy to have. So thanks once again to Memory for sharing the code with me, I'm really glad to show it off. Unfortunately, all other Animal Crossing digital content on the 3DS and Wii U is now unavailable, including Animal Crossing New Leaf, Happy Home Designer, Wild World for the Wii U Virtual Console, and these Animal Crossing apps, Animal Crossing Clock, and then Animal Crossing Calculator. I managed to download these just in time before the eShop closed, which I'm pretty happy about, but don't worry, you're not missing out on too much. These applications are really incredibly basic. They're just a nice little look at the history of Animal Crossing, honestly, so I'm glad to have them. So yeah, it's nothing too incredibly exciting, but I still want to provide this update for anyone who is worried they may no longer be able to update Animal Crossing New Leaf if they decide to play in the future, as I know so many of you will do. And if you do have any download codes, quickly redeem them before it is too late. Hopefully, this will mean that some of this retro Animal Crossing content will finally make it onto the Nintendo Switch, now that it's no longer accessible on the Wii U or the 3DS. I'm especially hoping for Animal Crossing Wild World to finally make it to Nintendo Switch Online, something that honestly I could see happening sometime in 2023, so let's keep our eyes out. Let me know though, did you manage to download any last minute games or applications on your 3DS or Wii U before the eShop closed down? I'd love to hear. If you made it to the end, be sure to comment Bob's Gang down below so I know you did. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave a like, and if you haven't already, consider subscribing and turning on channel notifications for more.